Yeah, 1018 is a rare, beautiful song. It's one that shines a light on romantic relationships that may not necessarily be something that's found frequently within our genre, but it's something that I think needed to be addressed. It's looking back on a relationship that ended up being a very positive and, for the lack of a better term, beautiful thing. I think that even musically, it just invokes a lot of emotion and enthusiasm. And on the other hand, you have a song like Cholera, which talks about being brokenhearted. You know, I was put in such a strong emotional state of needing to express myself that I didn't hold back. I just started, I picked up the guitar and started writing. And that's what came out. Lyrically, same thing as well, which is kind of funny because of the fact that I actually push myself so hard melodically that I'm at the upper part of my register, and for better or worse. And but I think that actually shows the kind of strain that I was going through. And Cholera is a song that is, much like the lyrics say, is frozen in time, for better or worse. I can look back on it now, and it definitely doesn't affect me like it did. But the beauty behind these two songs is the fact that they're essentially the polar opposites.
I think it's pretty clear to get that 1018 and Cholera are definitely the love songs on the record, quote unquote. Those are both the ones that kind of dive into romantic relationships, but the way that the songs approach the idea of romance or relationships is kind of from not necessarily, well, I guess kind of two different points of view. One song is kind of aimed in the more positive direction, the other one's aimed a little bit more in the sense of, okay, that didn't work out and now I'm left to just pick up the pieces and try this again.
One song is talking about this beautiful time in my life where somebody really made an impact on me and made me realize a lot of things about myself and helped me grow. Whereas Cholera was one where, as the lyrics kind of point out, it made me rethink everything. I felt shattered and I felt like I needed to pull myself together again. And that's the thing about romantic relationships. They're investments, but they're also risks, and they're also vulnerable. And there are many different layers of vulnerability. And these songs, 1018 and Cholera, essentially showed both sides of that same coin.
So when you look at the icons for those songs, one element of them I think is fairly easy to get. So of course, love songs. So with 1018, you have a heart at the top. With Cholera, you actually have a heart that's been split. And then the triangles at the bottom represent kind of like when you're driving down a road and it gets smaller and smaller as it gets closer to the horizon. At the end of this, how do you feel about that relationship?
Having these two songs essentially just represent each side of the romantic spectrum, I think, is pretty interesting, and it shows the complex nature of what romance and life can be.